He knew because I knew. What? Junpei was receiving information that I sent to him through the morphogenic field set? It's simple, really. How do I know the alternate futures, then? Imagine a river that splits in two, like an upside-down Y. The river flows from the top to the bottom, from a single stream to two branches. It only flows in one direction. It can never flow backward. Information is the same way. It moves from the past to the future, but never flows backward. That's why people at the river's source in the past will never know about these downstreams in the future. But the people downstream will never know about one another either. Information only flows along the path of the river. But I am different. I can manipulate the morphic field set to pluck knowledge from the future? What the fuck? Who is this I? I know what happens on either fork of the river, even though the people on either fork know nothing about one another. Now, who am I? I am I, the ninth letter of the alphabet. What? But I am also zero. No, that's not true. I'm not really zero. Not yet. Perhaps you could say I am less than zero. Zero is my future. In 9 years, I will be zero. What? Where did she go? June. No, Akane. Where did you go? Santa! Wise Clover. Oh shit. Freeze. Santa's got the gun. Guess he picked it up when we weren't watching. Looks like he's turned the tables on Ace though. Wonder how he likes having a gun to his head. Get up. Sure isn't about to take that gun off him for a minute, is he? Ace isn't putting up any kind of fight. I mean, I don't think I would either. But he just looks strained. Guess he's going for the door, huh? He doesn't need to verify to go through that door, but... What's your plan, Santa? What are you doing? Can't get through any number of doors with just two people. What the hell is he thinking? Didn't I tell you? I'm Santa Claus. It's time for me to go make a wish come true. That's it? That's all he's gonna give us? What the hell does that even mean? Shit, they're out. And now the gate's shut. Looks like the rest of us are stuck in here. They're all looking at me. At least Seven's headache is gone. Seems to be alright. Well, I guess there's no harm in trying. See if this door still opens. Damn, well, looks like this door isn't opening anytime soon. You mean we're trapped? So it would seem. The hell is Santa trying to do? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, what? If you consider where we are, there can really only be one thing Santa would do now. No! No, you can't be serious! Oh, but he is shit. We gotta do something. Incinerate us? Stick it up through the 9? There's the red. Yeah, alright, we can do this. I just gotta... No, it's not gonna work. There's no way. The 5 of us can't open this door. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 equals 26. 2 plus 6 equals 8. Is there any combination that'll work? Junpei, can I borrow your pen and notebook? Sure, why not? I don't think I'm gonna need them. Ever again. Well, she certainly looks purposeful. Looks like she's writing equations. A lot of them. Huh? Oh man, she doesn't look very happy. Hey, no need to be ripping pages out like that. Jeez. How you doing, Clover? Give me that. Or at least 7 got it away from her. Maybe now I can get a look at what she was writing. Let's see. Shit. There's no other way? Lotus. Looks like she figured it out, though. Man, this is just too cruel. It's okay. Go. Lotus. Come on, you know we can't do that. Oh, don't give me that. I'm sure you'd love to get rid of me. God damn it, you idiot! Well, where the hell did that come from? It's like she expected that about as much as I did. Without you're not... Look, it'd be bad, alright. For a cop, he sure doesn't have that much confidence. Bad? Yeah. If there weren't assholes like you around, I'd be out of a job. Huh? Look, I'm just not leaving you behind, alright? End of story. 7. He's right, I'm not leaving you either. Me too. You don't honestly think I'd abandon you, do you? Ugh, you're all idiots. Act as tough as you want, Lotus. We can all see you're about to cry. That being said, however, I doubt we would be able to open the door anyway, even if we were to leave Lotus behind. Huh? Why? Just remember what happened to Ace. I couldn't see exactly what happened, but I was able to guess what he was attempting to do earlier at the Red. Oh yeah. No! What is this? Why? Digital route should be 9. It has to be 9. Why isn't it opening? Just to see, why don't we give it a shot? Give it a shot? Yes, that is what I said. Two plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 equals 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9. You were right. I like how they're not showing any text on this side anymore. Basically, it's like being like, if Junpei is talking, even in inner monologue, it's over here now. Because we know anything over here, it's not Junpei. It ain't opening. It did open 9 years ago. The digital route was 9 then, I'm sure of it. Think maybe they changed the settings? Perhaps. Shit. We can't get through the door, we can't get out. The walls are way too high, there's no way in hell we could get to that hole 7 popped out of 9 years ago. All we can do is stand here and stare at this door with a 9 on it. Guess this is it. This is the end. I was watching. I had watched everything that was reflected in his eyes. I was listening. Every sound that vibrated in his eardrums I heard. Smell, taste, touch. I felt everything he felt. I knew. I knew everything about him. What he was thinking, what he was feeling, what he was sensing. All his feelings and worries and fears became mine. My mind, my consciousness was inside of him. Through the morphogenic field set, we were resonant and we were as one. I was him, and at the same time, I was an observer. It started with a tremendous noise like a clap of thunder. That was approximately 9 hours ago. A bomb had gone off on the ship we were on. That was when my resonance with him began. My resonant event melted into him and we became one, inside of Junpei. Somehow I found myself in Junpei's mind. 9 years in the future. I didn't lose myself. I was living in 2 realities at once. One was the present and the other was the future. Perhaps you can think of it as 2 movies showing on the same screen at the same time. Eventually it became difficult to separate them and determine which movie is which. However, if I concentrated, I was able to focus on one or the other. That was why I was able to grasp what was happening in front of me. I guess that's all 9 kids. Over here! That was my brother, Aoi. He was screaming. So June is 0. But what does that mean? I followed him. Around me were 7 other children. They all looked like they were about my age. Come on, hurry up! We ran down a long, straight hallway and rushed into the large hospital room. Everyone was arguing. 2 of the boys got in a fist fight. a girl watching them began to cry. I want to go home, she cried. I want to go home. Another girl slapped the crying girl and glared down at her. It's been 2 hours since the Nori game began. We're starting to fall apart. But just when all hope seemed lost, Light started talking. He was blind. Ah, Light's the blind one. 9 years later, we would call him Snake. Hello everyone. Yes, could you come over here for a moment? He was older than most of us, and his voice had authority and dignity. Light sighed down, and we gathered around him. I have a little sister. She's very important to me. Right now, she is over in Building Q and is desperately trying to send information over to me. Her name is Clover, and today is her 9th birthday. Wait, her name isn't actually Clover, is it? That would be weird. As he spoke, he pulled something from his pocket. In his hand were 9 4-leaf clovers. I was going to give these to her as a birthday present. I was outside picking them when I was abducted. I'm sure I've already told you, but I'm blind. For a man who can't see, collecting 9 of a very specific plant is, well, it's difficult. But my sister means a great deal to me, and I hope that these would show her how much I cared for her. Since it's her 9th birthday, I thought 9 4-leaf clovers would be appropriate. Every one of you has a brother or sister in Building Q with Clover. Well, not everyone. For their sake, we have to survive. We have to get off this ship. Do you understand? If we're going to do that, there are 3 things you have to remember. We need trust and love, and we have to have hope and faith in one another. If we can't take all 3 to heart, then I promise that good luck will come our way. Did you know the leaves on the 4-leaf clover mean faith, trust, love, and luck? Those words are leaf words. So if you believe what I've told you, and you understand that I want you to each one have these. They're a promise between friends. He gave a clover to each of us. I took one too. Eventually he was left with only a single 4-leaf clover. He had one last thing to say. Now don't ever forget. So long as you have that, we'll always be connected. Do you understand? When he finished, the tension of only a few minutes before was gone. We were calm. After that, we ran around the ship for a while longer and opened several of the numbered doors, until we finally found a door with the number 9 on it. In fact, there were 2 doors with 9 on them. We found them in the chapel. We split into 2 groups and walked through the doors. Before long, we all found ourselves in a room with a ceiling that looked like an upside-down funnel. For some reason, this room had another number 9, but this time, it was the only one. But if there was only one door, that meant only 5 people could escape. What are we gonna do? There aren't any other doors? We began to panic. Then, as if things had not gotten bad enough already, the incineration began. Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. What? What's happening? What did that thing say? Didn't sound good. Brother Owie swallowed hard and answered. I think it means this room is gonna burn. Burn. The plaque on the door says incinerator. And that voice said the incinerator is about to start. Incinerate means to burn. No! Help me! Abject terror filled the room as everyone began to scream and cry. Every pair of eyes were filled with despair. Then, high up on the wall, a door opened and a man appeared. He was a huge, frightening mountain of a man, as large as a bear. 9 years later, we could call him 7. Don't worry, kids. I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you. The rest happened just like 7 had said it did. 4 of us who stayed behind was saved by 7. We crawled through the vent away from the incinerator and slid down into the hall. Came out the other side of door 9. On the wall opposite the door was a set of double doors. We went through those and began to run up the spiral stairs. As we ran, I led the way. Behind me were Nona, my brother Owie, Snake, and Seb. Their children, the ones who'd gone through door 9 before us, were up ahead. I could hear them cheering each other on. We ran and ran and ran. We upped across as many stairs as we could and kept running. The stairs spiraled upward like a tornado. Eventually, I pulled ahead of the rest. Perhaps Nona had slowed them down. I didn't want to lose them, so I slowed down as well. I didn't stop, but I glanced over my shoulder from time to time to see if they were caught up. That was when I realized, oh no, where is it? Did I drop Jumpy's present? I knew I'd had it with me when we passed through the vent. Then I dropped it as we slid out? Jumpy's present. I had to go back, I had to. But I knew I couldn't tell the others. It would stop me, I was sure of that. I didn't stop to think, I simply moved. I ran to the central hall, the room that connected to all the other areas of the ship. And hid in the shadows. Moments later, I felt a run of wind as they ran past me, up the staircase. I waited until they were out of sight, and I ran. Moved as quickly as I could, down and down and down. Finally, I reached the bottom deck. Ran to the hallway and looked around frantically. There it is! It was just where I thought it would be, sitting under the opening of the vent. I ran over and snatched it from the floor, but as I ran back toward the stairs and freedom, the door of the incinerator opened and a man stepped out. It was Hongo. Gentaro Hongo. And years later we would call him Ace. How wonderful to see you decided to come back! His smile made my blood run cold. It looked mechanical, as if someone had simply put up the corners of his mouth. Come with me. You must continue the experiment. I shook my head, eyes wide. Slowly I began to walk backward. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. I spun around and broke into a run. But you're too slow. Felt Hongo's hand close over my left wrist. He said, come with me. There's an edge of insanity to his voice now. I pulled as hard as I could. No, I don't want to. Let me go. Please let go of me. I shook my body and flailed my arms, trying desperately to get Hongo to let go of me. But I was still only a child. I was no match for a man like Hongo. Stop struggling, goddammit. Do as I tell you. He heaved on my arm, trying to pull me into the incinerator. I screamed. Help me, somebody help me! And suddenly, Kane! The door of the stairs flew open. My brother Owie burst out of it. Behind him came Seven and Snake. Kane! I cried her name again as he leapt toward Hongo. You came back! I cried out. Ha! You're too late, idiot! Hongo threw his full weight against my arm, pulling up both into the incinerator. Ah! The force of it threw me to the floor. I scrambled to my feet and looked toward the open number 9 door. Hongo stood between it and me, but behind him I could see my brother, his fists clenched. But those fists never reached Hongo. With the cold, heartless screech of metal on metal, the door slammed shut. Hongo glanced at me mechanically, his face registering that there was an object there, not anything he would consider a human being. Then he turned away and walked to the red that sat next to the door. He reached into his pocket and removed 2 bracelets. He waved them both over the scanner panel. 2 asterisks appeared in the red. He checked the screen and tossed the bracelet carelessly on the floor. What was he doing? What was the point? He made no effort to explain himself, of course. He said nothing at all and walked past me as though I were nothing more than a rock by the roadside. A few moments later, the double door slid shut as well. Faintly, I could hear someone pounding on the door behind me. I turned around and ran toward the door with the 9. Akane! Akane! Are you okay? I hear a voice from the other side of the door. A worried, frightened voice. Help me! My throat was already raw, but I screamed as loud as I could. My voice echoed, lonely, around the empty room. What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here. Where's Hongo? Came out the other door. What? And it started again. Warning, warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Holy shit. I knew what it was going to say. That's one hell of a creepy voice. I knew it. It's starting. Wait, what? Santa started the incinerator. Oh, okay, yeah, we're seeing our regular perspective again. Alright. I was a little thrown off there. Fuck! Man, I never thought I'd hear that damn voice again after 9 years. What the hell? What the hell? What are you talking about? It's 9 years this and 9 years that, and when it's not 9 years something, you're talking about some sort of fucking experiments. What in God's name are you talking about? You aren't making any sense. I'm sorry, Lotus, but we really don't have the time to explain it right now. I promise I'll tell you everything once we get out of here. But my incineration will take place in 17 minutes. You know what that means, right? Incinerate means burn. What kind of an idiot do you think I am? I know what incinerate means. Well, god damn it. Okay, fine. I won't ask anything else. Talk about whatever you want. But you have to do something for me. 7, figure this out. What? Why me? Just shut up and stop this thing. How the hell? There has to be some sort of emergency shut-off button. There isn't anything like that. How the hell do you know? Because I looked for it 9 years ago. Yeah, Lois isn't happy about that. Can't really blame her. Wait. The floor. It's moving. Whoa. What was I gonna say about it, but what the hell is that? Exactly. Oh, now we see both. Okay. What else could I say, but what is that? The floor opened and the machine rose up out of it. It looked like a computer. At least it kind of did. There was a monitor, a keyboard, and a cross-shaped device of some kind. Something about the machine scared me, but I forced myself to walk up to it. I was terrified. Tears poured down my face. I wiped them off, even as more took their place, and forced myself forward. Finally, I reached it. I looked at the screen. It was blank. All I saw was my own frightened face staring back at me from the glass, drenched in tears. All I could see on the screen is a reflection of my own face. Looking kind of freaked out. I know I'm sweating like crazy, but seeing it kind of drives it home. Okay, Junpei, just calm down, alright? Everything's gonna be okay. Gah! Man, I wish that thing would just shut up. Automatic incineration will take place in 15 minutes. Alright, back to this thing. It's only showing up now. It's gotta be important. Well, what the hell am I supposed to do with it? Hey, move! Oh, computer stuff. Gah! Hey, we're all tense, lady. It doesn't mean you get to shove people around. Okay, it's turned on. There's nothing on the screen, though. This is bad. This is really bad. There's nothing on here. How are we supposed to do anything with it? Sure, just push buttons. I'm sure that'll... Huh. At least it's on now. Is this Sudoku? On the screen, though. What's this? The hell? It's like some sort of puzzle. Got a bunch of numbers scattered across 9x9 grid. The numbers range from 1 to 9. Do you think that if we solve this puzzle... Yeah, well, we can hope, right? Alright, puzzle, how do you work? Oh man, that goddamn voice again. All execution will take place in 13 minutes. Shit, 13 minutes. Can we really do this? My heart feels like it's gonna pop. My heart was pounding like it was about to explode. I stared at the puzzle on the screen. I was sure I had to solve it somehow, but I had no idea how. My connection to Jumpy's had been gone for a while. His mind was gone. I couldn't get any more information from him. I felt the seconds tick by as I stared at the screen, completely lost. My cheeks felt hot as tears poured down them. And I heard a voice. Hey, what are you doing? It was muffled. I turned around. Pressed against the window in the entry door was a face. A frightening, evil face. Ugh! It was Hongo. How long had he been watching me? I don't know what to do. He was yelling, but his voice was still muffled. It's simple, really simple, but I suppose I might as well tell you. Just solve the puzzle on that machine. Ha ha ha! His laughter was muffled by the door, but it was still tore at my heart, like the claws of a vicious monster. Bit my lip and glared at Hongo, struggling to hold back hot tears. You're a terrible person. I hate you. Oh my, how could you call a gentleman such as myself a terrible person? That's not very nice. I'm quite fair. I don't use tricks or play dirty. You see, I've even left you a way out. A way out? Didn't you hear me? All you have to do is solve that puzzle. Do that, and you can stop the incinerator. What's the point of stopping it? You only capture me and make me do this all again. I'm not gonna listen to you. If you're just gonna throw me back in here, I might as well just die now. My goodness. Haven't you listened to anything I've said? I told you I'm a fair man. If you solve the puzzle, the verification function of the red will in turn activate. If this experiment is to deliver valid results, there must be a chance of success. If you succeed, you will escape. Verification function of the red? Then I remembered. Before Hongo left the room, he had scanned 2 bracelets into the red. Ah, so you remember. Right now, there are 2 numbers in the red. The first is 1 and the second is 3. Say, Connie, what's your number? It's 5. Show to 5. 3 plus 5 equals 9. I ran to the door with the 9 on it. I grabbed the red and put my hand against the scanner panel. You really aren't one for listening, are you? I hear Hongo's muffled voice from across the room. I already told you, didn't I? Once you solve the puzzle, the verification function on the red will activate. In other words, if you haven't solved the puzzle, you can't enter your number. What kind of a fool are you? Why are you doing this? You could never understand. You don't know what it's like to spend every day surrounded by monkeys. Now start the experiment. Solve the puzzle. I can't. I don't know how. Of course you don't. Isn't that the point? You understand, don't you? Access the morphogenic field and find the solution. I can't. You'll die, you'll burn alive. Haha. It's gonna be quite hot in there in a few minutes. I imagine it'll be very painful. This horrible laugh echoed across the room. Even after his face disappeared from the window, I could hear it. Our incineration will take place in 10 minutes. I was crying. Great gulping sobs, broken by hiccups that shook my body. I was terrified. I could feel my fear pressing down on me like a tremendous weight. Somehow, I forced my shaking legs to carry me back to the device. I stared at the empty monitor. I can't. I just can't. There's no way. Can't figure this out. It's Sudoku. It's not that hard. Well, I mean, some are pretty challenging, but you gotta at least try. Just put numbers in there and see what sticks. What was I going to do? I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't even know where to start. Fear scattered at my thoughts, and all I could think of was how I was gonna die. My palms were sweating, and my blood was boiling in my veins. It was hot. So hot. I couldn't breathe. I felt dizzy. My heart roared in my chest, as if it would pound itself to pieces. I reached into my pocket. I wrapped my hand around the thing I'd come back to get. The doll Jumpy had given me. At least I had that. I held tight with both hands and prayed. Help me, Jumpy. Help me. Help me. Help me. Jumpy. Jumpy. Jumpy! Please. Help me. Jumpy. Akane. Akane? Who the hell's Akane? Shut up. Just shut the hell up. Seven of those don't understand. I think Clover and Snake have an idea, though. Clover's looking at me. I think Snake may have figured it out. No, it doesn't matter. They're on my way. Where'd she go? Maybe over here. Akane. Akane? Can you hear me, Akane? Say something. Fuck. Something break our connection? So I haven't really been talking about it, but have I mentioned how mindfucky this is? What? This doesn't make any sense. They have thrown all forms of logic out the window. I swear I just heard her. Shit. Akane! Answer me! Akane! Jumpy? I spun around. I heard a voice. His voice. I looked around. He wasn't in the room, of course, but I'd heard it so clearly. Like he was right there. Jumpy! I screamed as loud as I could. Immediately, I heard him call back. Akane! Jumpy! This doesn't make any sense, but okay. That means... Akane, are you in an incinerator right now? Yes, I am! How did you know? Now I understand what Santa meant. Right, there's no way to help her. You were brought here to help my sister. Save Akane. Think I get it now? I don't get it at all! I mean, this kind of makes some semblance of sense, but how Santa knew this was going to play out this way, I have no freaking clue. And how is June in the present that we saw her so far? Like, it doesn't make sense. Maybe the game will explain itself in a way that logic works somewhat. Hopefully. 7 minutes. Jumpy! We don't have time. As quickly as I could, I told him that I had solved the puzzle in order to stop the incinerator. Got it. And I do. I got everything now. At last I finally understand what all this means. I know why the Nonary game was held today. I know why we were kidnapped and brought here. It was all for this moment. All this was planned out to lead to this moment. Oh my god. This is insane. I can't believe it. There's only one possible answer. June is. Zero is. Kanekura Shiki. She recreated the history of the future that she had a glimpse of 9 years ago. Wait a second. Okay, this is all mindfucky. So right now, as far as we know, she's dead. But in an alternate timeline, she survived, became Zero, got everyone here to save her in the past so that she lives in this timeline. Something like that? That's still really fucked up and hard to put my brain around, and still seems like it's full of a couple holes, but I'll go with it for now. She tried to save herself that way 9 years ago. No, she's trying to save herself right now. That means that there's only one thing for me to do. Even if this is all some sort of insane plan, I will save her. I will save Akane Kurashiki. I must save her, no matter what. So what, the final puzzle is Sudoku? That'd be great. 6 minutes. Jumpy? Yeah, I know. Just hang on, alright? I promise I'll get you all out of there. I'm not gonna let you die. I promise. So don't worry, alright? Just give me a few minutes. Okay? Okay. My voice shook as I answered. It was hot in the room. Felt like my heart was on fire. 6 minutes or not, my heart burned with my feelings for him. Alright, time to get to work, Junpei. Snake talking about something? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Get out of my way. Hey, what are you... Trust me, okay? Sorry, Lotus. I didn't mean to snap, but there's a lot more at stake here than your pride. I'll apologize later, alright? Now let's have a look at this thing. You've got numbers all over the grid. Now if I'm looking at this right, I'm going to need to fill in all the empty squares with other numbers from 1 to 9. But I can't use the same 2 numbers in any horizontal or vertical row. I love Sudoku, by the way. This is the funniest thing ever. The same thing has to go for the 3x3 square with thick lines around them. Means I need to put different numbers in the horizontal and vertical rows, as well as the 3x3 spaces. I think that's the rule here. Alright. Bring it on. I'm gonna do this on my own. In my own mind. But I don't get how... Okay, so she sees all the other possibilities. Somehow. Even though their minds are supposed to be connected. So, if her mind was connected with me in the other pathway, she somehow brought that knowledge to this pathway? I don't get it. How did she... If it was explained, I didn't follow it. Solve this problem. Did the game just go upside down on me? So if I'm understanding this correctly, they want me to do this last puzzle upside down. What the balls? Let's start with some easy stuff. 5, 2, 8, 7, 4, 1, that's a 9. So we need, well, this doesn't really matter, everything's reversed, so it might as well be a 6. So we need a 9 and a 3. Now let's see, which should go where? We already have a 9 over here, which means we put a 3 here. Yeah, this gets a 3. Which means this gets a 9. Okay, next up. This row here is missing, let's see, 6, 7. It's missing a 4, an 8, and a 4, 8, and 3. Let's see, we can't put a 3 here. We can't put a 4 here, which means an 8 goes here. Yeah. Okay, which means the other two have to have a 4 and a 3, I believe. Yeah, 4 and a 3. Can't really distinguish that, so I'll leave that as is for now. Over here, we have, let's see, what do we need now? 1, 2, and 6 in this one? No, we have a 2 already. 1, 5, and 6. So let's see here. Any limitations on that? No, I don't think so. Let's move over to another one then. What about over here? We need 1, 4, 7, and 8. 1, 4, 7, and 8. And 8 can't be here. Let's see here. 1, 4, oh, 1, 4, and 8, all of them, none of them can be here. Which means we can put a 7 here. And then let's see here, what's left? 1, 4, 7. We got a 7 in here. And we have a... No, wait. Sorry, it's 1, 4, 8 that's left, right? Yeah, 1, 4, 8. 1, 4, 8. And then we have a 4 and a 1 in here. Which means we're going to have to put an 8 in here. That leaves a 1 and a 4. I don't know if I can do anything with that yet. But meanwhile, what's left in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. Can't do anything with that yet. what else do we got? Let's move to another one. Blah, 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 blah. So we got that 7. What's that? Oh, we have this row here. So we got 1. We need a 2. And we need a 9. This already has a 2, which means this one has to take a 9. Which means this is going to take a 2. Where does that leave us? This one now has, let's see, 1, 6, 7, 8, 2. So that means it needs a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 9. Alright, let's see here. 3, 4, 5. 9 can't be here. 9 also can't be here, which means 9 has to be here. Let's see, 3, 4, 5. 3 can't be here, so 3 has to be here. 4, 5, I don't know if I can touch that yet, but we have this 3 here, which means, what is the last number here again? 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe? Yeah, we need a 4 here. And then, what about over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, we need a 5, and an 8. Yeah, we need a 5 and an 8. This one gets a 5. This one gets an 8. Okay. What does this need? 1, 3, 6? Yeah, this needs a 1, 3, and a 6. That has a 1, 3 over here, so we're gonna put a 6 there. Then we got a 1, 3 up here. I don't think I can do anything about that yet, but that's okay. So we got this little row over here, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 7 and 8. And that's an 8 up here, so we're going to put a 7 there. Which means this gets an 8. And then what's left over here? We have a 1 and a 3. Yeah, 1 and a 3. Still don't think I can do anything about that. But what goes over here? Let's see. 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 9. Yeah, so 1 and 3 have to here, which means a 6 and a 9 have to be here. And this right here is a 9, which means this is going to be a 6. Okay, what's left in this little group? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 9, right? Yeah, okay. This is a 4. 4 is up here, which means 4 has to be here. Okay. And then we got 7 and 9. This has to be a 9 because of this 7 over here. And then we could put a 7 up here. Oh wow, I got a plus. Oh, that means I got one of the things. Okay, one of the things full. And then let's see, what about over here? We need a 1 and a 3, I believe. Still don't have a solution for that, I don't think. Okay. Meanwhile, what about over in this one? We need a 1, a 5, and a 6. Can't have 1 over here because of here. It means 1 has to be here. And we need a 5 and a 6. We got this 6 down here, which means this has to be a 5. Which means this gets to be a 6. Then, we got this up here. What does this leave? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. We got this 5 over here, which means this has got to be a 7. Which means this gets to be a 5. Then, over here we got 1. We need a 1. We need a 4. Yeah, we need a 1 and a 4 in here. And can we do anything about either of them? I don't know if we can. Not yet. Okay, ignore that. What about in here? Yeah, what's through here? 1, 2. Need a 3, 4, 5, 6. We need a 7? A 7 and a 3. Yes, we need a 7 and a 3 here. And we've got a 7 over here, which means this gets to be a 3. Which means this gets to be a 7. And I believe we were arguing over 1, 3 over here for a while, I think. I'm doing that right? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this gets to be a 1. Which Means this is a 3. Then we've got, let's see what's left over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and an 8. A 6 and an 8. This gets to be a 6. I'm glad they didn't give me a terribly hard Sudoku, because there can actually be some really tricky Sudokus. This is actually a pretty simple one. Let's see, then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, 4, 5. 4, 5, 4, 5. I don't think I can do anything about that yet. Okay. What about over here? Oh, yeah, I have everything but 1. So 8, 9, 3, 6, 7, 4, 2. Literally, I have everything but 1. Okay. Then over in this one, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need 5. Okay. And then, let's see, what does it leave? What's in here? 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 6. We need a 1, 4, and 6 in here. Oh, we got a 1 all the way through here, which means 1 has to be here. Then we got a 4 and a 6. We have a 6 here, which means this has to be a 4. And then this gets to be a 6. Then we have these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we need 4, 5. Which means this gets to be a 4. And this gets to be a 5. Let's see, we got 2 more here, so that's 1, we need a 1, we need 3 again. Yep, so this gets to be a 3. This gets to be a 1. And we got a last couple of things over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 9. This gets to be the 4. This gets to be the 9. And that's the last one, I believe. GG, Sudoku! Yes! That's it! Akane, did you get it? Yes! I did, I solved it! Well, I mean, you solved it for me, but I copied everything you did. Now I just have to press enter. Now what the hell are you waiting for? Push it! Okay, I will. I hit the enter key. Emergency shutdown command has been acknowledged. Generation system has been shut down. Jumpy! What's wrong? It worked! It worked! The incinerator shut down! It worked! Tears rolled down my face as I cried out to him, but they were a very different sort of tears. A wonderful feeling of accomplishment and relief flooded my body. At the same time, the strength I'd had left disappeared and I collapsed to the floor. For a while I just lay there, laughing and crying and enjoying being alive. Oh, just to bring this up again, I remember saying throughout the entire LP, there's gotta be a reason they never really hooked up. They keep, being lovey-dovey, even though, they were separated for so long and didn't seem to really care. The reason is because she was dead, sort of, kind of. It doesn't make complete sense yet. Every time I thought about him, I thought my heart would burst. Whew. Can't quite believe I did that. But I'm so glad, so glad. I feel like my heart's on fire. No, I don't have time to think about that kind of shit. You need to tell Akane. Akane! Sorry, but things are kind of busy over here. I'm gonna have to hang up now, okay? Hang up. Oh, of course, that's fine. I wiped the tears from my eyes and nodded vigorously, even though I knew he couldn't see me. Then I looked over at the corner of the floor. There were the 2 bracelets Hongo had left behind. Now, most of them I noticed didn't look particularly happy with me. Not a very nice look to give someone who just saved your life, guys. Junpei, are you okay? Ah, shut it. Right, okay, so maybe they have a reason to be pissed off. So what if I haven't pressed the enter key yet? Alright, nothing holding me back now. Here goes. Wait. Final consideration will take place in 90 seconds. Huh? What? Question mark? Doesn't sound like it's stopping. But I did the Sudoku puzzle. It's gotta be stopping. The shit? Oh, I love that. What the shit? How often do you see that in games? Why isn't it stopping? Okay, maybe I didn't hit the key hard enough. Just hit it again, and again, and again. This is the definition of insanity, Junpei. That's not working either. The alarm's still going off. What the hell is going on? Got all the right numbers in the right boxes. It's perfect! So why the fuck isn't this thing stopping? Online search will take place in... I don't think you were ever meant to get out? Question mark? No, wait. June would want you to get out. I don't know. Mia's confused. Wait, of course. That's what these numbers under the puzzle mean. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8. Oh, it means to use those numbers to get out of the 9 door. It never even had a 9 to begin with. It always had an 8. That's what you gotta register to get out. Snake, Clover, me, 7, and Lotus. And that makes sense because Santa, you know, and June were never really part of the game to begin with, and Ace and the Ninth Man were never supposed to make it this far, so that makes sense. Then, door 9. No, that's it. That number on the door isn't a 9. It's not even a number. An exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a... What? Are you joking? He said 9. How can you mistake... Okay, with your hearing, how do you mistake that? Text is different, but how do you mistake that with hearing? Holy shit. Of course. You just have to put the right number in the red end. Conversation will take place in... Well, Q does equal 17, and the root number for that is 8, but... You can't really mistake a Q for a 9. Like, not if it's voiced, only if it's text. Which, I don't know. 30 seconds. Run, guys. Get to the door! Maybe that'll be explained. Run! Shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Don't have much time. Man, I sure hope they can just trust me on this one, or we're all fucked. Alright, no time to explain, just go. Quick! Verify your numbers on the red. Verify? Who? What combination? All of us! We all need to verify. Why? You really think this is a good time to ask questions? Just do it! Hurry, 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 hurry! My consideration will take place in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2... Central gate has been opened. Incineration system has been disabled. Thank fucking Christ. No, no time to be happy. Time to go. Hurry! We've only got 9 seconds before the door closes. Go, go, go! Come on, guys, move it. Okay, they're all through. Move it, Junpei. Just in time. And there goes the door. No, don't calm down yet. You're not done. Still gotta find the dead. Shit. Looks like we made it, huh? Man, that guy sure can laugh when he wants to. It's like Clover and Lotus are totally out of energy. I guess Snake probably can't see the sky, but he sure can feel the fresh air. I just want to take a nap. Akane! Akane! Akane, can you hear me? I want to tell her we made it. I want to tell her how good I feel. But nothing. Have I mentioned yet how great of a use this was of the dual screens of the DS? Like, this is taking advantage of hardware. The door opened. Standing in front of it was my brother. Akane! Howie! I cried his name, even though my voice was almost gone from screaming, up into his arms. Okay, I'm trying to wrap my head around everything. So she died. But she managed to send information to Santa through the fields, I guess, just before she died, that she had to set it up so that Junpei could help her, because she knew that that's what she needed. Magically, she knew that somehow. And then that's what Santa did. He kidnapped everyone and did that, so that I saved her in the past, so that she's fine now in her past. And the June I've been walking around with this whole time is... fuck all! Like, I was starting to maybe kind of make things sense in my head. This does not make sense. I'm sorry, game. Explain better, or I'm calling massive bullshit. Kane! I buried my face in his chest and cried again. I cried and cried and cried. The steady thump of his heart in my ear made me feel like I was home. Its beat was almost like a lullaby. I wrapped my arms around him as far as they would go and held him as tight as I could. Just to be there felt like a miracle. I hadn't felt the warmth of another human body in what it seemed like an eternity. I just wanted to stay there in his arms forever. But I couldn't. The moment I passed through the door, my bracelet had begun to count down to death. I leapt away from him and looked around. The door had already closed. I spotted the dead only a short distance away. It took me only a moment to get to and scan all the bracelets. I left the ones Hongo had dropped on the scanner panel. That was it. Phew! Took a deep breath and looked around again. The huge detective who we'd call 7 in 9 years and Snake, the blind boy, were looking at me. They seemed to have been utterly stunned by my sudden appearance. Their eyes were wide and their mouths hung open. Alright, let's get out of here. If we don't book it, we might run into Hongo again. Aoi is right. It's time we got moving. The mention of Hongo seemed to jar 7 and Snake out of the surprise, and they nodded. We took off running up the spiraling stairs to freedom. Up, 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 up! Man, these stairs go on forever. Where if they can get out of here? No wonder we're running so hard. Heart's beating so fast I can barely hear. God, I can't wait to breathe real air. Again. Is 7 talking? Hey Junpei, can I ask you something? Wasn't this interesting? Junpei's in the place of Santa, Lotus is in the place of Snake, and then 7 is in the place of 7. What's up? That door, the one with a 9 on it. Why did it open? Yeah. All 5 of us verified our numbers on the red. 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 equals 26. That makes it root 8. It shouldn't have opened. That's not like you, Lotus. I thought you would have figured it out already. Huh? Why? Because you were the person who taught me about the idea of bases. Bases? Yeah. What are the 2 numbers in base 2? 0 and 1. How about base 10? That goes from 0 to 9, right? And how about base 16? 0 to F. After 9 it starts at A and goes from there. B, C, D, etc. You're right. In other words, A in base 16 is 10 in base 10. B is 11, C is 12, D is 13, and so on. So what about it? You don't get it? What if we keep going with that pattern? What if you go way past base 16, all the way to base 27? Base 27? Yeah. Well, the numerical digits are the same. So I guess you add alphabetical digits. E is 14, F is 15, G is 16, H is 17, I is 18, J is 19, E is 20, L is 21, M is 22, N is 23, O is 24, P is 25. Yeah, and what comes after that? Q. 26. What does that mean? That wasn't a 9 on the door. It was a Q, a fucking lowercase q! Yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess to put it another way, you could say that it was a 9 in base 10, but a Q in base 27. Time for more running. God, my thighs are killing me. Okay, that makes sense and all, but that doesn't explain how you mistaked a Q for a 9 when Zero said it on the speakers, unless he said a 9, in which case, why did Junpei say in his flashback, seek a door that carries a Q? Because clearly, he said a 9. So at any moment now, I'm gonna tear a muscle. I feel like every cell in my body is dying for air. Damn, every breath I take is a chore now. I feel like my lungs are gonna burst. Maybe just a short rest. No, can't stop. Don't have time. Come on, legs. There can't be many more of these steps left. Let's run like a bullet down a rifle barrel. Like a tornado cutting through a sea of clouds. I feel like we're running on the back of a giant coiled dragon. Finally. Whew. Jesus, I can barely breathe. No, Junpei, no time to rest. Pull yourself together. You're almost there. Alright. I'm gonna open it. Yeah. Yes. I'm finally here. Please do. Sure, you look like a big heavy door, but you're the only thing standing between me and my freedom. Even more important than that, you're the only thing standing between me and Akane, somehow. Even though isn't she dead in this timeline? I don't know. You're gonna open, and you're gonna open now. Felt a hand on my shoulder. It was Awie's. He gave it a small reassuring squeeze. I was so happy I felt like I could melt. My heart was at peace. Not only because my brother and I were back together again. Thanks to the huge detective, all 9 of us who had been kidnapped were finally able to escape from the Gigantic. The only thing I can think of is that everything has been essentially a lie. Like, Seven was brainwashed, and Snake was brainwashed, and probably some others are brainwashed into thinking she did die there, and the only way to stop her death is for Junpei to do this, and they already saw the future and knew this was going to happen, and this happened the first time through. That's the only way this makes some sense. There's an horizon, we could see the faint outline of the ship as it sank. It gave a thunderous roars and finally slipped beneath the waves. Its last cry echoed out across the ocean, and then it was gone. In other words, the June we've been with all along was the real June. Because she never died. Yeah. That's the only way it makes some sense. It's over, Aoi whispered. Yeah. It was over. It was finally over. Or was it? Was it really? No, that was wrong. That wasn't it at all. I was sure of it. This wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. This was only a prologue to what would happen in 9 years. Yes, finally, air! Ugh! Damn, that sun is bright. I can barely see anything. I gotta admit, this doesn't look quite like... Wait. No way. You've gotta be shitting me. We were never in a boat, were we? What? It can't be. This is... I was right. We were never in a boat. Who called it? I mean, I didn't quite think this is where we were, but I did call it. This is the building in the Nevada desert, which means the beginning of the game was complete arse shit. No, wait, yeah, that's right. They said that was from Akane's point of view. That's confusing. The mock experiment building. My god, this whole time we weren't building Q. That's right, because the Gigantic sunk 9 years ago. Of course we were. Sure enough, that's a desert out there, with mountains all around it. Hello there, son. Boy, am I ever glad to see you. I don't think I've ever been so happy to see a sunrise. Huh? Did I just hear something fall? The bracelets. Right, our bracelets. Guess I've never really got a good look at the underside of these. Let's see what's inside you. Just a little electronic chip, like an ATM card. That's it. There's nothing else. Nothing that even looks like a detonator. Maybe none of our bracelets ever had detonators. There was never a detonator to begin with. Figures. O'Connor. Jumpy. Heh. Guess I must be pretty crazy about that girl if I think I'm hearing her voice in the wind. You can't end it there. You're not allowed to end it there. That's not a conclusion. You fuckers! Are you joking? How is that the ending? That's not an ending. I know there's a sequel. Was the sequel planned at the time of making this? I really hope this was a standalone thing and the sequel was just added on, but I guess not. I guess it was always intended to have a sequel? I hate games like that, by the way. I think that's a dumb idea. Why would you intend a game to have a sequel? I mean, you can have sequel hooks in it, but you should, anytime, at least the first time you're making a game, a new IP, you really gotta make it with the intention that this might be the only game in the series. There might be no more. We've gotta make it complete. This is definitely not what I'd call complete. Yeah, not everything really even made sense. What, am I right about the fact that they brainwashed Snake and Ace and Seven into thinking she died those years ago, but she was always alive and it's a stable time loop? That's the only way things make sense, but they never even brought that up, which means the designers maybe even didn't even think about it that way. And if that's the case, then this is just bad writing. So I don't really know what to think of it. Is there gonna be more after the credits? Please? Don't say some bullshit like continued in Zero Escape. I swear to gosh. Are you okay? Oh gosh. Come on, this is nothing. Really? Yeah. You look okay. Wait, who's saying what? Just before the end of elementary school. Jumpy and I were sitting next to each other on a small hill, looking down at the town as the sun slowly set. How's it look then? He was half serious and half joking. I thought about it for a minute first. Well, let's see. You look great, Junpei. Looks like you kissed a toad and got warts. Then they just kept growing and growing and growing. What does that even mean? Junpei grinned and ow, 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 ow. See, I told you you're not okay. You're too reckless. You can't beat 5 8th graders. Junpei, that's crazy. This is... Yeah, but I couldn't just stand there. I mean, don't you think so? I had to do something. Look at the Nevada desert go past. For an SUV, this thing is a pretty smooth ride. Sure was nice of someone to leave it for us outside the building. Keys in the ignition. Gas in the tank. Almost like it was a present, you know? Anyway, we jumped in and now here we are, screaming across the desert. Lois is over there in the passenger seat. Snake and Seven and I are all squeezed in the back seat here. Still can't believe we let her drive. What? Wow, the youngest person is driving. This is so fun! It's so awesome. Driving is so great when there's nothing around. And there's no speed limit. Hey Clover, watch those bumps, alright? This car jumps even a little, and I think I'm gonna get crushed to death. Hey, shut it. I can't help it if I'm big, alright? Suck it up. Why don't you drive, Seven? I'm a cop. I ain't gonna break the law. He doesn't have an international license. Yeah, but you could have sat in the passenger seat. Oh, hell no. There's no way I'm giving this seat up. And Clover, there's no need to slow down. The car Santa and Six are in should be somewhere down the road ahead of us. Yeah, I saw some fresh tire tracks going out. There's no doubt about it. We've got to hurry if we want to catch them, don't we? Sure thing. Oh shit. God damn, she doesn't have to drive so fast. Didn't even think a car like this could go this fast. We're sure throwing up a lot of dust. It was a couple hours after we run into the junior high students. They'd been hiding in the bushes on the back of the hills, drenching a kit in gasoline. When we saw what they were doing, Jumpy ran at them, furious. Hey! What the hell are you doing? Then he jumped on them. He quickly scooped up the kitten and tossed it to me. I caught it and ran for the police station as fast as I could. Help me, officer, please! You have to come with me! The policeman and I headed back to the hill. All we found was Jumpy, sprawled on the ground with a face covered in big, swelling lumps. Couldn't run after you threw the kitty to me? I asked him. He stuck his tongue out through the hole in his mouth, where a tooth had fallen out. Yeah, I guess I coulda. Why didn't you? I didn't wanna. I wanted to beat him up real good. Because of what they were doing to the kitty? Yeah, that too, but I think they were the ones behind those murders our first semester, remember? Oh, so it comes back. Oh, you mean the bunnies? Yeah, the bunnies. Plucked some grass from the ground and tossed it into the wind. They asked me what elementary school I was from, so I told them. And they said they'd do the same thing too if they did to the rabbit. I couldn't forgive them for that. So, Hey, there's still some stuff I don't get. Of course, they probably don't know any more than I do. Like Ace. Well, I guess I should say Kintaro Hogo. Why did he create the Inori Project? Anybody? Any ideas? Why don't you ask him yourself? Well, yeah, I guess I could. He's still in the trunk, I assume? Ha! Yeah, he is. So he doesn't get his comeuppance in this pathway? Still tied up, I'm assuming, with his mouth taped shut. Well, I guess that's good enough for now. He's gonna get sent to prison. And because this is Japan, you'll probably get the death penalty. Well, might as well have a little chat with the old man. His eyes just look empty, no emotion. It looks like he's just given up. I wonder if it even cares what happens to him anymore. Hey, were you listening to us? Yeah, go ahead and try to pretend you weren't, you old bastard. Let's get that tape off your mouth. Come on, I know you were. Answer me. Could at least look at me when you talk, man. I only wanted to see the faces. Human faces. I thought that if I could gain the ability to access the morphogenic field set, then perhaps I could see faces. By peering into people's minds, to understand how they were processing the expressions of others. That's it? Yes, if you want to put it simply. But if you're looking for a more philosophical answer, I can supply that as well. You see, the human collective consciousness. I think that's enough out of you, pal. Time for the tape to go back on. Well, at least it's not something generic like I want to use it to create soldiers to take over the world. So what's your second question? You said there were some things you didn't get, didn't you? Well, somebody's a little nosy. Well, my next question doesn't really have anything to do with you two. This is for you, Seven. It's about the whole Alice thing. What's the deal with that? Well, see, 9 years ago after I escaped from the Gigantic, I kept going after Hongo on my own, hoping I'd catch him when he finally slipped up. During the course of my investigations, I learned a lot more about the Gigantic. I also found out about Gordon and Alice. You're not really answering my question. Was there actually a girl who wouldn't melt at room temperature? Sounds like Hongo has something to say. Alright, fine, I'll let you talk. You gotta behave. What? Alice doesn't exist. 9 years ago, I found Alice's coffin behind the library on the bottom deck. There was nothing in it but the root of a peculiar plant. My research determined that it was a member of the genus Mandraga of the family Solanaceae. So yeah, Alice this whole time was just red herring. I was able to extract a particular alkaloid from it. Oh, I used that extraction to create Sapporo. Nice. This creation was a tremendous boon to my firm, and we grew rapidly. Shit, this is gonna go on forever. Tape's going back on, huh, go. The rest of my questions can wait a bit. For now, I think I'll just enjoy the ride. Hey, this is for you. What is this? This is for you, doll. His name is Junpei. Jumpy pulled something out of his pocket and shoved out his arm toward me. His hand was a doll made of yarn small enough to fit in his palm. Jumpy, are you sure it's, for you, doll? Huh? The lady at the shop said so. That means it's for you, right? Are you sure it's not a voodoo doll? What? Oh man. Well, it sure looks like a voodoo doll. I mean, you do know what a voodoo doll is used for, right? Yeah. I guess calling it Jumpy isn't a very good idea, then. Why are you giving me this, anyway? It just seems really sudden. You know how after June, we aren't gonna get to see each other too much? And we're gonna be in different schools, and I just thought I'd, well, okay. Well, how about we call it June, then? Oh, okay. So I wanted to give this you... You sound like some sort of tribal chief in a bad movie. Yes, I have tribe. This doll. Traditional charm of tribe. So I give this... It me... So we always together. Oh, Jumpy. If something bad, then hold and pray. Go wherever you are. So here, take. Reached my hand out and picked up the doll gently. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jumpy. Before I knew it, I was crying. Tears streamed down my face and fell onto June's tiny yarn body. Now that's weird. That's even weirder. Like, Akane is saying this about June. Ugh. Oh, Jumpy, I'll never forget you. I promise. Jumpy looked straight into my eyes and said just 5 words. I won't forget you either. The sky was a beautiful crimson red as it melted down toward the horizon. The last golden rays of sunlight stretched out across the city and painted themselves across the hills. We sat, bathed in the warm light of evening. Just the two of us, leaning gently against one another, shoulder to shoulder. Sunset, and we still didn't leave. We watched in silence as the darkness happened. One by one, the lights of the town began to flicker on. There's still one thing I don't get. To be honest, it's the biggest mystery as far as I'm concerned. And also the only one that's really important. It has to do with June and Akane. 9 years ago, she died in the incineration of the Gargantic. But she's still alive now as June. But how? Was it because I tapped into the morphogenic field set and saved her 9 years ago? Alright, let's say that makes some kind of insane sense. If I did that, then... I don't make sense of what Seven remembers. Snake makes sense. He's blind. He couldn't have seen her body anyway. But Seven, he said he was sure he saw it. Does that mean there's some kind of historical discrepancy? Or wait, maybe that's not it at all. There's one other logical explanation. Was what you told me the truth, Seven? You look satisfied. No. No way. He couldn't. Hey, look over there! Somebody next to the road! What? Hmm? The burning gaze in the Nevada sun poured down on her head. The desert around her rippled with heat. Standing there on the shimmering pane was a woman, her arm out and her thumb up. It would not be long before Junpei realized who she was. June? What? What? Okay, so Seven was in it the whole time. He never lost his memory. And that person at the end was June? Okay. Are you restarting the game now? Is that what's happening? Would you like to keep the information you gained during this playthrough? So, I guess that means this is the end of Let's Play 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors? I know there's a sequel. I don't know what that's all about. But, I don't know. That kind of ended on a weird note. I feel like if I didn't know there was a sequel, I'd be like, eh? I'll get around to that at some point. For now, though, I guess this is the end of the LP. I may do, as a bonus, look at the previews and show my initial reactions to those, because I still haven't watched those. In fact, let's end this LP off by reacting to the opening cutscene. Yes, that is what I will do. Oh boy, time skip. It's actually been about a month since I recorded this now. But since then, I've had time to think of all the things that don't make sense. As I was putting this together, I decided that I might as well put this in here. I'm going to list off all the plot holes and little inconsistencies that I saw throughout the game. There's probably others that I could see if I really looked through the entire game, but who has time for that? It's possible some of these were explained and I just wasn't paying enough attention or forgot. Or maybe some of these are explained in Zero Escape, or maybe some of these are legitimate plot holes, and if I go on forums, people will agree with me that these are legitimate plot holes. I guess all there is to do is list them off. Alright, where do I start? Let's start with the most nagging one on my mind. The submarine thing. At the end of my third playthrough, what was the point of the submarine? Everything that was put in that game was supposed to be put there for a purpose. The purpose of, you know, the nonary game. That's why Hongo put it there in the past. So what was the submarine there for? Like, and by extension, what was the sun key there for? Like, it didn't lead to anything as far as we know. And if it doesn't lead to anything, then it shouldn't have been there. You wouldn't have just put a submarine there just to be like, you thought you could get out with the submarine? Nope, go the other way. Like, is that what? Speaking of which, other things that don't make sense in that pathway, who killed everyone? Was it Ace? It seems like they kind of imply it was Ace, because you see Lotus's bracelet is off, and Junpei makes note of that. But how did he get into all the doors? How did all the doors get open? Like I said back then, you need a skeleton key. I still think you would need a skeleton key, because that's the only way it works, unless there's multiple keys of each, and even then, someone needs the multiple keys, you know, the second copies or whatever. And as far as we're aware, those don't exist. The game never brought those up. You can assume that Santa and maybe June had a skeleton key, possibly, but they weren't the ones who killed everyone. If it was Ace, which is the most likely answer, how would he get that stuff? Sure, maybe in the 9 years ago we would have had that stuff, but this time they wouldn't have left him with that stuff. So how would he have gotten it? Like, as far as we're aware, it doesn't even exist. So yeah, that's a big plot hole. What else do we got? Oh, right. Here's a small one. Clover and Snake, are they related or not? There was a point in the game, I remember, where Junpei was talking about, like, are they siblings? They look nothing alike, kind of thing. I think he was talking to Ace, but that never got brought back up again. We don't know one way or the other if they are related by blood or if they're just adopted siblings. We don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter, but if that's the case, why make a semi-big deal out of it at that point? I think it was, to foreshadow Ace's prosopagnosia, but it still leaves this other thing hanging. That's how I see it anyways. Okay, what else? Let's talk about the ending. The time travel bullshit ending. Okay, a lot of it they did explain, but some of it still doesn't make sense. Okay, thing number one, this is the biggest thing. Snake. And in the ending, Junpei said, "Oh, Snake makes sense, he's blind." How the fuck does that make sense? It doesn't matter if he's blind. He would have heard her running out to Aoi being like, "Oh, she's okay. She escaped with everyone else." Snake would have known she was okay. Like, why would he think she was dead? He has to be in on it as well. And yet the game acts like, no, he doesn't because he's blind. That doesn't make sense. Even if Snake, let's say, wasn't with Seven and Aoi when Akane was saved, and maybe they found some way to cover up the fact that she was saved from the rest of the kids. They didn't do that. We know they didn't do that. We saw Snake with them, but let's say they did that. That still doesn't explain how he didn't recognize her voice. He made a big deal about how he was ashamed that he didn't recognize Santa's voice, but it was understandable because he went through massive puberty. But when girls go through puberty, the voices don't change as much. What's your excuse there? How did you not notice that the person is supposed to be dead you're hearing her right now? Like, what? That doesn't make sense. He has to be on as well. But again, the game acts like he isn't. What other plot holes are there? Oh, how is it that Akane saw the multiple futures? Like, they make that to be kind of a big deal for a bit, and then they kind of abandon it at the end. Like, she says that she was seeing essentially two movies at once. Her own life and Junpei going through the nonary game. And I can buy that, but she said only 2 movies. What about the other movies? What about the other endings? She didn't say she was seeing those at the same time. So how would she have known the other endings? It seemed like they were paralleling each other, going on at the same time. But if that's the case, then she wouldn't have known the other multiple endings. If this was explained better, and I'm really just not getting it, someone in the comments making it even easier for me to understand. Because as far as I'm aware, and I just edited the ending, by the way, it doesn't make sense to me. As far as I'm aware, they were, like, building that up, and then they kind of swept it to the side, saying, never mind that, that's not important. What's important is, Akane is morphogenic fields from the past. So it's like they abandoned that, and hoped that you didn't notice that it didn't really make sense. What else? Why, when they were solving the Sudoku puzzle, even in the past, did it have the combination of 8 plus 5 plus 4 plus 2 plus 7, to try and get out of the 9 door? Because in the past, it actually opened with the number 9. Hongo would know. He was confused that it didn't open with the number 9 in the present. So why would those numbers be set up in the past if it only matters in the present? It doesn't make any sense, and Hongo set that up. Like, I know there's this whole gameplay story segregation. You could say, those numbers are there to help you get out. But then have them on the left side of the screen where it's relevant. On the right side, it doesn't make any sense, and that shouldn't be there. At the end of the pathway where Clover went crazy, no one brought up that there were 2 9 doors. In hindsight, Clover probably already knew that there were 2 9 doors because she was already in the game and just didn't care. But why didn't anyone else bring it up? Especially Santa and June. 'Cause, aren't you guys trying to get to the point where Junpei has to save June? Why would you go away from this? Do you already know that things have happened differently than she foretold, so this is the wrong ending? That seems kind of dumb. Another thing that seems dumb is, why didn't Santa just like, I don't know, somehow inform Clover that Snake was still alive. It seems really convoluted to let all this play to chance. Now, some of this can be excused because, oh, they have to keep the stable time loop going kind of thing, but if there are multiple endings, then there's multiple ways that this can go anyways, right? It's not a definite, for sure thing. The future can clearly be altered, so why make things harder on yourselves? Why not just say, oh yeah, by the way, your brother's still alive, he's in that coffin, don't kill us? Okay, here's something that also never really got explained. I mean, you can kind of infer what it was, but the game never brings it up. Akane constantly was having these, episodes of just, like, having a really high fever or something. Now, maybe this was just her flashbacking to her time on the boat 9 years ago, but they never bring this up. And also, Seven, like, stumbles a couple times throughout the ship. And it seems like, he's going through something big, and at first you might be like, oh, maybe he's just trying to get, recollecting his memory. But this happens even one time even after he's already gotten all his memory back. So what was up with that? They never really, mention it. Again, for the people who are acting, which would be, June and arguably Seven, I guess it would make sense if they're just going by what June's vision did, but how accurate did June describe her vision? Like, she kind of lived through it, so she might have understood, I'm supposed to have an episode now for some reason, because I saw myself having an episode. But Seven, I don't think would get quite as detailed an account to know, okay, in this instance, I'm supposed to, stumble. Like, what? That also begs the question of if he ever had memory loss to begin with. Did he, how much of the plan was he even in on? I don't know. The game never really brings it up. It's just kind of like, well, he knew. He knew that June was alive and he pretended she wasn't. But did he actually have amnesia? We don't know. Why were Santa and June on the same boat? I know they kind of said it doesn't matter, and that's kind of the explanation they gave. But in my opinion, it does kind of matter. Like, Santa didn't need to be on the boat with June. He could have been over in Building Q. Like, there would have been no problem with that. There might not have been quite as an emotional drive of Santa seeing his sister die before him. Die, quote-unquote. But he didn't need to be there. So what was the purpose of both of them being on the ship? It seemed like there might have been some purpose, because that would have meant another pair of siblings were just in Building Q, and they never really bring it up. It's almost like it's an excuse to have both of the important characters in the same place, even though there's no real reason to, and you never give an explanation, so it seems just lazy to me. Well, that's about all the plot holes that I've seen that I remember right now. If you guys have explanations for these holes, to fill them in, so to speak, go ahead, let me know in the comments. If some of these maybe get explained in Zero Escape, then let me know that they do so I can look forward to that. Or if you agree, or if you've been enlightened that these make no sense, then let me know that as well. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and hand this back to past me from a month ago for me to finish the Let's Play. Why do I know? Why? Why do I know? I thought it was what do I know, but I guess I was seeing it wrong. These things. Where am I? That's June. Abducted. Ice that won't melt. Even though that's bullshit. Over 1,500 victims. Telepathic mechanism hypothesis. Ace on the floor. There's those two. Maybe it's the devil and there's Snake dying, quote unquote. Oh, there's the last key. I am Zero. I guess that was Santa who did that. Or even could have been June, didn't really matter. There's them escaping. Last freaking cutscene. There's her going crazy. There's, that again, another thing from the last scene. All the doors. The time you'll be given to make your escape. Now it is time Let our game end. See you guys in the next LP.